Kind of what seemed to turn it for you guys with K1 getting the interception and scoring off of that to get the lead there?
Yeah, that was huge. We felt so good at the beginning, how we came out in all three phases. And then it was, the end of the second half was for us to go down there. We were about to score. We ended up getting an interception. They go down and score, which is, in my mind, that's 14-point swing. And then they come out and get a field goal to start. So 17-point swing, tough to overcome versus that type of team. And then when K1 made that play, I feel like it just got the momentum back in us, and everyone fed off each other and led to a good win.
About many. How much can you attribute that to what Jimmy brought to the offense?
That's huge, definitely. Jimmy's played great, continued to do it today. And I think the guys have gained confidence. I think everyone around him is playing better too. And today, getting that many points, we don't do that without the defense either. Those guys got us the turnovers. I think we had 3. I think it was 3-1. And to do that versus that team, and they scored for us on one, and then to get us in the scoring position twice, it was huge for them.
Maybe Jimmy's first bad interception. Did you talk to him after anything? You had to tell him after that interception?
Not much. He made the right read. He was throwing to an open guy. He just got hit as he was throwing it, and that's what happens. That's the story of everyone versus that defense. If you get caught in a bunch of passing situations, and it's a matter of time before that D-line with 4 gets to the quarterback, and we waited on a route to develop, which it's a high risk, high reward. You get a touchdown if it does, but the risk is trying to hold up, and I'm not sure which guy it was, but it came from the right side, and he got to him, and that didn't bother me with Jimmy. That's part of football. It's if I don't want that to happen, I got to call a quicker pass.
In the offense and the defense, your cornerbacks had 3 picks today, and I think they only had 2 all year coming in.
Yeah, I think you see it through the whole team. I think everything started off pretty perfect in that game, and I think our guys were going, and then we faced some bad adversity coming into the locker room where I think it was 16-16 at halftime, and we felt we should have been up by a lot more than that, and to do that, and then them start out with the field goal to be able to overcome that, and our guys not change. That's what I was the most proud of with our team. I don't think our guys have been affected by the highs and lows of the games. I think we got a tight group who believes in each other, and they feed off each other, and I always feel that having a tighter group, I think, is a huge advantage in this league. And you got to execute, you got to be talented, you got to make plays. But when you have guys, I think, who believe in each other, it helps to overcome adversity.
Last week you said Bobby Gould was playing as well as any player you've ever coached. Is the same true for Jimmy Garoppolo?
No, I don't know about that. There's a lot. This is my first time as a head coach, so this is the first time I could throw in a kicker. So I can never do that before. But I've coached some good quarterbacks. The guys have had some good games, some good years. But Jimmy's playing at a very high level right now.
Noah, could you talk about the call on the Breeders' touchdown? Why you like that call? The execution of it, how well?
Yeah, it worked out great. The guys made their blocks, and we had a strong feeling they'd be in man coverage and playing the run and daring us to throw. Which you need to get a first down there because I believe they still had 1 timeout, so you can't run the clock out. But you definitely want to make them use their last time out just in case you don't get the first. So you got to always make that debate whether to throw it there or run it. We felt good about the run, hoping they would be blitzing and be in man coverage and fake the jet sweep to Keese. And the guys, I think it was Trent on the edge, did a good job blocking on that D end, the outside receiver, and we pulled Staley around everyone. And Breida did a good job hitting it and then staying in bounds going for the score.
Their pass rush and their pass defense, how important was it to get out to that early lead? And I know obviously you want to score every time, but was there an emphasis going into this game that we have to score first?
Not really. You don't ever want to say that because, then if you don't, you don't want to. You got to just play as good as you can in every situation. But, like I was answering earlier, if you become one-dimensional versus that team, their pass rush and the 7 guys behind them are too good. They'll eventually get after you. And when you get up to a lead early, it's a lot better than having to play catch-up. If you got to play catch-up versus that team and you have to throw it, I don't picture anyone doing very well. And getting that lead and them tying it up, and I think being real good on 3rd down today is really what helped us the most on offense. That's what allowed us to get those runs called and to stay out there quite a bit.
What impressed you most about Jimmy's performance in particular today?
What's that?
What impressed you most about Jimmy's performance in particular?
Just that he was consistent. I thought he played very similar in this game than he has the last few games. So he made the right reads for the most part, made the right throws, and I'm sure there's a couple he's going to want to have back, just like any game, but it was that he's been very consistent.
We talked about his release and all the things that all of his strengths, but that throw that he made to Taylor when he's rolling to his left and across his body, I mean, that's got to be as difficult a throw as there is for a quarterback, isn't it?
Yeah, I showed him how to do it in practice. No, his body's different. The way he can throw, I think everyone can see that because he can make unusual throws from unusual angles, and he can change that arm everywhere. I joke with him and say he's like a jug machine. He's just sitting there ready to throw it. It doesn't matter how his body is. He's just ready to throw it any time, and that definitely helps, especially when you get in some off-schedule situations and you're going the wrong way, and not a lot of people believe you can make that, and he found a way to do it, and Trent did a hell of a job pulling it in.
You won 4 in a row. You just beat the #1 defense. I know what your overall record is, but right now, are you almost or as good as a playoff team?
That's hard to say. I know we played one today, and I know today it seems like we were the better team. So today I thought we played at a high level versus a very good team. I think we've gotten better each week. I know we've won a number in a row, but I think what's been the coolest thing about it is I think we've gotten better in each game since Chicago, from Chicago to Houston to Tennessee to this. I feel like both or all 3 phases have gone better, and I want us to finish up strong next week and really counting on that to lead us into next year.
Kyle, you mentioned that efficiency hasn't been necessarily this team's strong suit throughout the season. You guys report 6 straight on how is that kind of come together? Punching it in when you guys get down to the end of the field.
Just continue to grind and continue to get better in every area. I don't think we started out with great today. Especially at that. I want to say maybe we were 1 of 3 in the first half, and I believe we finished 4 or 6. We had that turnover, so everyone had their part. We scored on an off-schedule play to Trent, I believe. We ran the ball better down there, and from what I remember, I don't think we had any penalties down there, which we didn't have to overcome any bad situations. So we did better today. I think we've done better recently, and again, hopefully that's because we're getting better, and when you get better, things improve.
Kyle, you mentioned that you thought Jimmy played kind of similar to how he has the past 3 games, but doing it against that defense in particular, as much as we talked about it, does that send any more of a message to you? Is there anything else you can take away from it, having him do it against that team?
Yeah, that was the biggest challenge for him and the biggest challenge for our offense. I think it was neat for him to get to see, we had to run more of our offense. We had to mix in a lot of keepers and things, bootlegs, just to slow them down, whether they're effective or not. Their linebackers are so fast in their D-line that you got to keep them off balance and do some things. And I thought he did a lot more stuff today that I don't think he's done a ton of his whole career. He'll continue to get better with it as it goes, but it was pretty neat for just to be able to do that stuff and him to see how it all ties together and the way it helps our team throughout the game.
Kyle, thoughts on the atmosphere today?
The atmosphere is unbelievable. I noticed it early in the game, I noticed it before the game, and I noticed it all the way up to the end. Sometimes they're a little. They don't have to be so loud when we're on offense down in the red zone. They can be a little quieter just for a little bit. But it was cool to see them pumped up, and there's no doubt that affects us, and we really enjoyed playing there today, and it was a good setting.
One of the times when they were so loud, there was an MVP chant. For Jimmy, did you hear that?
I did hear that. Robbie told me it was for him, but yeah, I did hear that. It was cool. It was neat.
Ruben Foster didn't finish the game. He was out for a little bit. Did you just feel like it was better to shut him down?
Yeah, he got another stinger in that game. He came out, went back in. He was going and stuff. Once I don't know if it was when Breida got that score, but we pulled him out at the end. He could have gone. He was battling through it, but we want to make sure he's ready for next week.
Can you talk about the rookies and their progress up to this point? And Matt Breida scored today, and then Killer came up with a big INT. How would you assess their progress up to this point?
It's been huge. That's kind of, I know that's kind of what I mean by everyone has gotten better, and especially those guys. We put a lot of pressure on those guys early in this year, playing them sometimes a little bit more than they were totally ready for, and we had to be patient in that aspect. And but those guys haven't wavered. Sometimes you throw some guys in some situations where they can do it, but they're not quite ready for it, and they were up and down with how good they did. And when that happens, some guys kind of fold and think it's a little too hard, and they get worse, and they just are looking for someone to save them. But those guys have grinded all year. They practice every single day. They're deliberate in everything they do. And when you have people like that who work the way they do, it's usually a matter of time before they get better. And it's been nice that for them that they've been rewarded this way, and you guys can see it, and so can we.
Kyle, you guys were struggling. You were finding sort of silver linings, trying to see how they would respond to adversity.
How does now having success, what kind of challenges does that present? What are you looking for in your team off of this?
Yeah, just that we don't change. I mean, I don't want them to, when you're 0-9, I don't want them to think that they're as bad as people might say, and when you win 5 in a row, you better not think you're as good as people might say. You're the same person every day, and you do as good as you can, and that's all I want our guys to focus on. And by no means do any of us feel we've arrived. We're happy that we're playing some better football, and we know you're never going to stay the same. We're going to be better next week, or we're going to be worse. It's going to be one or the other, and the only way that comes is if you work and you try to get better each week. And I think we got the right type of people here. That's what we've been kind of emphasizing all year, and I think our guys have really bought into it, and I think they're kind of leading the way on that now.
Big picture, is anything accelerated for you now that you've had some success on the field?
Not really. I feel the same now. I mean, I'm definitely enjoying things more right now. It's always more nice to win, but you know, the plans for us and the way we see in the future and everything like that, nothing's changed. This is part of the process. We got one more game left, and then we'll relax for just a little bit, and really looking forward to the offseason also.
K1 show you so early that made you give him that, nice contract, and, obviously he bounced around a little bit early in his career.
Just, knowing who K1 is. I was with him for 1 year in Cleveland, and probably said like 3 words to him while we were there. He doesn't talk much at all, and I don't either when I'm on offense. So, but I watched just how he went about his work every day. He's a guy who came in in our rookie tryout camp at Cleveland, and he made our team as a rookie tryout player. Ended up starting that whole year as a nickel and did a hell of a job. I saw him get after our guys in practice every day. I know Halfley's been with him for a while, so and I was only there with him 1 year. I think Half was 3, so we were very familiar with the type of person he is. And once we got him into camp, we could see quickly that he was still the same player that we remembered. And when you know the player and you know the guy and what they're made of, he's the type of guy you want to make sure we keep around.
There's only give up one sack against the pass rushing defense in the league. So what do you?
It's a credit to everybody. It's a credit to our O-line for giving us time, especially versus that defense. It's a credit to how we ran the ball today, so we didn't have to throw the ball too much. The plays we made on 3rd down. It's credit to our defense for getting us in some good positions with the turnovers. Just the way the situation in the game went, it really allowed us to help out the O-line. And when we did call their number, they stepped up and we had good results.